Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to Lee Judges TV. Lee and a few other guests will be joining us very soon, but it's a busy night. But we wanted to get this out tonight. I'd like to say a huge welcome to everybody in the chat, watching us live, and everybody watching and listening in the audio. Got to bring on my guy, Kenny Ken. Kenny, how are you, mate?
Yeah, I'm good. Despite the fact that, it's a year since we lost a great man. And, it's one of those situations where you hear the news, you're in shock, absolute shock, and then it just becomes a nightmare the days afterwards. And then after like the 9-1 situation, you just look at all the things that he's missed out on. He's missed out on them. Obviously, watching what's going on with his trust, but things that he loved. I don't think he's missing out on the fact that England are rubbish at cricket still, but Italy winning the Euros, Arsenal, relatively having a fairish season, but the fact that we can go to matches, that's something that's been robbed for him. And it's one of those things where one of the reasons why we're doing this, of course, is because one, we loved the man, one, he was a true gooner, but the fact is that he always had time for other people. If you were like an up and coming YouTuber, or just had a podcast, no matter how small a platform, Claude was always there to help people. And he was, despite the fact that, everyone said that he had, depression or not depression, he's always there to, give people advice and be there for people who are struggling themselves. So it's a massive void in our lives, still to this day, a year on. One, it's gone so fast, but most importantly, that he's not here. And I think that's what we're all going to be struggling with to our dying day.
Yeah, 100%. And I can't believe it's been a year. I spoke to a few people today and people were going, can you believe it's been, where's that time gone? It's unbelievable. Let's bring another couple of guys in. First of all, Lead Judges and Lead Gunner. Judges, how you doing?
Listen, I can't really hear, so I'm just going to just say a couple of words before I go, but I just want to see if you can pan out and see this.
Oh, that's all right for some, isn't it?
It's at Wembley. Look at him, executive box life, yeah?
No, I don't know, mate. He'd be
living the life.
Hello, Lee.
But I don't know if you can hear me, but I just want to say a quick word. Sad, very, very sad day. A year ago we lost a great friend, and very, very emotional about it today. But I will say this, that Claude would be very, very happy with our young players coming through at the moment. And unfortunately, none of them are playing tonight, but I just want to say that what a great guy he was, and I'll always think of him on big games and the times that we had a drink and everything. Now, I don't know if you can hear me, guys, but hopefully you can. But lovely to see you in the chat, and lovely to see Kenny Lee, and lovely to see Kelly, who's going to see who's at a concert today, so. I'll listen to what's going on, but a very, very sad day for us all today. And the great thing is that it'll always live in the memory of all us Arsenal fans.
Absolutely.
Nice one, Judges.
Absolutely.
I appreciate you jumping on, Lee. I know you're a busy man, and go and watch England get thrashed by the Ivory Coast, mate.
Pepe masterclass.
A Pepe masterclass. The Judge's favourite player. Do you know what I mean? Or not? Don't even know if he can hear me. Can he? There we go.
God love him.
Absolutely. Lily, listen. Thank you for jumping on. I know you're out tonight to see Stormzy.
We're out.
But listen, I really appreciate you. I really appreciate you jumping on. It's great to see you. It's great to see you smiling.
Thank you. So I've been winding my daughter up all afternoon. So if that's not something to smile about, I don't know what is. I would like to say thank you to my dad up there, because I know this is his doing, making me have to come to this tonight. So thanks. He's dropped me. he has dropped me right in it, I tell you. So I don't know where them two losers are going, but I'm just going to take myself over here for a second. Yeah, so I've been winding her up. Apparently, it's not. I'm way too big for my flip-flops. So, yeah, she ain't pleased with me at the moment. So, alas. But, yeah, no, firstly, I just wanted to say thank you for having me on. Appreciate it, and appreciate all the messages that have come through, not just from you guys, but from everyone out there on the social media world, if you like, because it's made today a little less lonely. So
Good.
it's been nice. It's been really,
Well, I'm
really
glad,
nice, and
and
it's really appreciated.
I just wanted to give you a bit of time, Lily, just to say a few words, but also what's been going on this last year has been overwhelming in terms of some of the stuff that's been happening through the great man that is Claude, a great friend of us all on here. And we wanted to come and honour that tonight and give you a chance to say a few words, Lily. So over to you.
Yeah, no, thank you. Everything that my mother wanted me to say has got out of my head, so I apologise, Mum. But yeah, I mean, obviously, as you can see, I'm not great. I'm not a social media person. So, you know, posting that don't go out very often, and there's still so much more we can do with the trust, but we are still in early days. But so far, we've sent even over 30 children and adults and children with disabilities in particular to Arsenal games. Not just in club level, but also Jack. Hi, Jack, if you're out there watching, has often given us his great seats by the tunnel, which has been really loved by all the kids that have gone and had the opportunity to touch the tunnel. So yeah, that's been lovely. We've sponsored some kids to get some Arsenal shirts. The kids that we've managed to send to some of the smaller games, but we send a lot of children to the women's games because it's obviously a lot easier to get tickets for, etc. But if they haven't got a shirt, we get them a shirt with their name on and stuff, which is obviously really nice for them. And more recently, we have teamed up with a local football team in North London, a youth team that has been set up for underprivileged children. And we have sponsored their first kit because they didn't actually have a kit. They were all just paying in their PE kits. So we've sponsored a kit in collaboration with another sponsor to be able to give these children a proper nice kit. I've seen the shirts and they're really nice. They're just in the process of being printed now with the logo. And then we're also sending some children from the same unit, children particularly with autism, as a lot of people know. My 3 children are on the spectrum. My eldest and my youngest suffer the most. And we are sending some children to a soft play for some sort of like a sporting activity, but these are children that wouldn't be able to do other sports. So that gets them out and about, keeps them fit and healthy. And as we all know, Dad was all for sports and for youth. So that's the plan. So lots planned, trying to see if we can get a dinner organised in Dad's name shortly. I know we've spoken about it, Kenny and Lee, and try and get some things done. And the other Lee has said he'll help us with that as well, which is great. So, and there's been talk of a sponsored football match as well, which I'll leave up to you guys because I can't play. So yeah, but yeah, big things happening, and I think it's just at the moment what we need is some traction for the channel and for the charity, just to get things up and running, make sure people know that we're out there, so that we can help as many youngsters as possible. Basically, that's the long and short of it.
No, it's great, unbelievable. Lee Gunner, let's bring you in, man, because when you hear stuff like that, it just puts a smile on my face.
Yeah, same. Listen, Lily, you've done some wicked work. Honestly, yeah, he'd be so proud. Yeah, we're all proud. Yeah, because
I hope so.
It was an idea that you've just taken, and it's just gone boom. And to see the smiles on the kids' faces, like, and I know you were texting me through my watch along the other week saying, yeah, you missed the goal, Smith Rowe's goal the other day because you went to get off.
So I took a child. Hi Ben, if you're out there, I took a young lad that's been out of school for 15 months. He's on the spectrum. He, you know, as a lot of people know, local authorities don't meet children's needs without a lot of fight, and his mum and dad fought for him through hell and high water. And so I took him to a game to sit actually in Jack's seats. And yeah, we missed the first goal because we were buying hot dogs. So, but you know, we saw the second one, so it's all right. But yeah, that was a really, really good. I never thought I'd have much fun out of club. I'm not going to lie, become a bit of a club snob. So I like my free beer and my free program.
You got to stop with these half and half scarves, though. Seriously, they're not.
Well, I've got about 5 now, so yeah, we're only missing one. So yeah, I've got the last 5 games we've been to. So although I got absolutely mugged for the Arsenal-Liverpool one, I don't know if that's normal, but either they see me come in, or it's just because it was Liverpool. But it was twice the price of the Burnley one, so I'm not sure what that was all about. But I was not pleased.
Lily, there's a lot of people in the chat. There's a lot of people that are going to be listening to this that were huge fans of Claude. And if they do want to kind of support what you're doing, what's the best way for them to do that?
So the best way at the moment, because we're sort of trying to set everything up, once we get charity status, it'll make it a lot easier. But at the moment, there is a GoFundMe out there. If you search Claude Trust, that will come up. Or the other way people have helped us massively has just been by donating tickets. You know, I've had tickets donated on the Arsenal tickets page when someone isn't able to go, and you know, they drop me a message and say, I've got a PDF, I'm not looking for anything for it, have you got a child that could benefit? As I said, Jack does that a lot. That obviously helps us a lot as well. So yeah, just little things like that, and also obviously just sharing the posts as and when they come out, when I sort myself out to get it done. So but yeah, so I've just seen that one. Oh dear, I'm not very good at the time to go. My son's better at it. So plus, I'm in North Greenwich, and I you know, I just don't. I've had it before, believe it or not. There are people sort of, you see people looking at you and thinking, and I think, oh my god, I didn't realise I put my face out that too much. So yeah, I'm just hiding away behind a
world
thing.
famous now. World famous. That's what it is.
You know, the funny thing is though, is that my dad never ever got that. Never got that. You know, I just remember him coming home and going, these people are asking for pictures of me. What's that all about? You know, I mean, I think we can all agree that that was one of his biggest phrases. What's that all about? And he used to say to me, what's that a picture of me and mum mug for? And I used to say, oh, just take it, you know. I vaguely remember a few years ago tweeting a picture of a carton of milk on the way home from a hospital appointment, because we had to pick one up because the milk had gone stale, when that was all a big phrase of Dad. So do you know what I mean? There's certain things that I even do now, and I just think, oh my god. And you know, my daughter, she's 13, and she's in secondary school, and she says the lads on the field are playing football and they're shouting, "It's time to go!" And she's looking around, but she's too scared to tell anyone other than her close friends, because she thinks that they won't believe her. So,
wow.
You know, I mean, so yeah, even she's noticing, you know, now she's back in secondary school, that the youngsters seem to know who he is. So yeah, it's just, I still find it quite surreal, to be quite honest. You know, I still watch videos of when people put them on and stuff, and I'll be searching for something and something else will come up, and I just, it's still quite thing that he was so popular, but also obviously that he's gone. You know, he's just, it don't feel real. You know, I get, even today, we were meant to get the train to Liverpool Street, and we accidentally, well, I say I accidentally got off at Tottenham Hale. And, you know, my usual go-to would be to ring my dad up and go, Dad, I'm here. Where do I need to go to? Do you know what I mean? When I'm out and about in London, because I don't live in London anymore. So, that, you know, but I still forget that I can't ring him and share those things with him, or watch a ridiculous sitcom on the telly with him, because he used to love watching all of the ridiculous things on the telly. So yeah.
Well, you say that it's crazy, because I still go to grab my phone and I speak to Kenny and I speak to Lee, and obviously I speak to judges quite a lot. And the other person I used to send voice notes to was, of course, Claude. And I sometimes go to do it even now. If we lose a game, or if I get frustrated, or even if we win a game, I always grab my phone and I think, oh, I can't do it no more. And I used to love doing it. We used to have great banter together. And it sometimes is hard to believe and hard to take still after a year on. And I don't know about you, Kenny, but that year has just flown by to me. But it doesn't feel like a year, does it?
As we said before, you know, so many things that, you know, all 4 of us could have shared with Claude. You know, the euphoria of, you know, the fact that even though he was born in England, he's Italian through and through. You know, his dream, you know, Euro final, Italy versus England. He never supported England.
I know.
So like that, you know, missing on that, you know, the adulation in the final, getting the penalties. It's so many stuff. And as I said before, you know, you go to football, you know, we've been going to a few away games, and the reference point was always Ken, where are you? Oh, I'm in Caledonia Road. Oh yeah, come and meet me. And he's meeting me in about 15 minutes. And as I go into the showers and come out, there's loads of people talking to me in the gym. You know, loads of gym members, Spurs fans, and then they come and change. I said, "Can't believe I just spoke to Claude." And that's how approachable he is, because, you know, he had a massive fan base, but he never changed, despite the fact that, you know, he felt that, you know, sometimes he helped people and it wasn't reciprocated, or people got in touch with him because they found out that he had access to probably AFTV and other big channels. And they thought, right, if Claude promotes my stuff, I can get access to those channels. And they never used to give the guy a thank you for that. And it's just things like that, because not that he never asked for a thank you, but, you know, it's things like that. He never stopped believing in the person, even though sometimes he felt disappointed, sometimes he felt let down. And that was the beauty of Claude, is that, you know, we talk about Claude, the football fans, it's called the person that we miss most of all, because, you know, it's been a shocking year as well for all of us. You know, you lost, you know, Chig, you know, something that, you know, was very close to Claude. And, you know, obviously, my mum died in September, and, you know, obviously with Claude, you know, losing his mother, you know, 12 years before, you know, that not being able to talk to him and, you know, help me get through it is something that I've never missed.
It'd have been your rock, 100%.
Yeah, first person I wanted to speak to is Claude. I went, oh, what would Claude say about this? And he's just not there. And then, you know, losing other friends as well from the boxing community as well, and they all were fans of Claude as well. Claude, you know, just transcended everywhere. You know, you could go down White Hart Lane and nothing would happen.
Everyone wouldn't get a kick in.
Yeah, there was a time that everybody got a kick in when he was with the AFTV lot, and he was the only one that came out without it. So, you know, they left him alone. So that's it. I've got to be honest. That's the only reason, as a Spurs fan, did I say that out loud? That I feel comfortable going to the Emirates and going to the games. You know, I see it as. I see it as I'm going for Dad. Does that make sense? Like, you know, I'm never going to have that passion that he has. I've only just learned what the offside rule is, for fuck's sake. But and I've got to be honest, I still don't understand it. But, you know, I see it like that. But I feel safe in the knowledge that, you know, if anybody did find out I was a Spurs fan, it wouldn't be necessarily a problem because of that. Does that make sense? They know now. Yeah, I'll have to dye my hair now before I go again. So, and, you know, just touching on what you were saying just a moment ago, Kenny, about calling and saying, you know, where are you? I'll come and meet you. I think I've sort of taken that place as well now. Only probably a little less. What's the word? Organised, because I don't actually know where I'm going. No. So I'm like, Kenny, I'm at Finsbury Park, where are you? So, yeah, come and find me. And as Joshua put it the other day, walk us for miles before we get to the football.
We went to the Eaglet. Lee would love that.
Oh, yes, we went to Lee's favourite pub, didn't we?
Yeah, Lee's extremely popular in the Eaglet. I mean,
I'm popular everywhere, mate. For one reason or another.
The Eaglet used to be called Night Owl. And the Night Owl was basically one of the worst in North London, where the only people who went there, people were scratching it. So every time they got a jar every 2 weeks, that's when they drank their money in the Night Owl. And it was a sight. I mean, they was playing old Sky and everything. Now it's apparently called it one of the best pubs in North London. How times change.
No.
Yeah, well, it was all right when we was in there, wasn't it? Well, I wanted to say your name out loudly, but Kenny wouldn't let me.
I wouldn't let you do it. Yeah, that
wasn't He's going, shh, if anybody asks, we don't know Lee.
Yeah.
So popular, so popular. Lily, before we let you go, because I need to let you go and have a good night.
I think my daughter's got in the merchandise queue, which is very, very worrying.
That is worrying. Before we let you go, Before we let you go, just want to say, first of all, thank you for jumping on. But second of all, is there anything
thank you for having me.
Anything you'd like to say before we let you go?
No, like I said, just thank you, and I really do appreciate the support. It means a lot. Some people, obviously, there's a lot of you guys that have got my number, or even on me on social media, that have dropped me a message just to say, I'm thinking of your dad today, thinking of you. Do you know what I mean? It's so simple, but it means so much,
Yeah.
So I really, really do appreciate it. So yeah, I think that's all. But thank you so much for doing this tonight. And yeah, like I said, just if you're not following the Claude Trust, come find us. I've taken over the Claude Instagram and Twitter account because they're verified accounts to use for the trust. But there is a Facebook page as well that I'm building up at the moment. So yeah, do come and find us, give us a like, because that is where we will be promoting what tickets we've got available and explaining how you can apply for those. So it's best to give us a follow as well.
Absolutely. Well, Lily, thank you so much. Enjoy your evening.
Enjoy.
Thank you. I'm so looking forward to it. Can you see? Oh.
I want videos, I want text, I want everything, all right?
Oh my God. He's not even coming on till 9 o'clock. Do you know that? What a load of trash. What a load of trash. Not even coming on till 9. So, well, my kids just messaged to say, where are you? So I better go find her. But thank you so much. And I will speak to you all soon. Much love.
Love you, Lily.
You take care, Lily.
Bye.
See you soon, all right?
Bye.
Take care. Well, boys, there we have it. I wanted to get a few people on that meant a lot to Claude, but obviously Claude meant a lot to everybody, not just us. But I wanted to get some stories because last year we sat on the stream this time and it was just a horrendous time for everybody. But I don't want it to be that again, if I'm honest, because there's so much stuff we can talk about, which is still happiness and puts a smile on our faces. And Lee, I want to come to you because you and him were very close and you used to do hilarious shows together. And he just said it how it was. You're someone who says it how it is. And I think that's why he clicked. But like, there must be so much. Asking a question of have you got any stories is, well, how long have we got?
I've never deleted the chat, but to go through the chat, because most of it's
take
voice
8
messages,
hours. Yeah.
There is literally months worth of voice messages. Like if I was to play every voice message since I've known him to now, it would take months. Yeah, and it was funny because you did ask me to send a few, and I was like, Dan, it'd take me forever. Honestly, it really would. Yeah, and I was listening to a few earlier. Like, mate, it's funny, Kenny, you know this. The amount of times he used to send literally a 1 second, no speaking voice message. You probably had that as well, Dan, right?
Yeah. I did it all the time.
I do it every time and go, totally agree. There's literally no, he's not saying anything. He used to do it all the time, especially in the group chat as well. Yeah, it'd just be like, mate, totally agree. And he'd be like, oh, sorry, I'm useless with social media and with this modern technology. Every time he had an issue with YouTube or something, he'd be like, Lee, can you help me do this, mate? And like, I used to FaceTime him. Sorry to bother you, mate. Always sorry to bother you. First thing he used to say, sorry to bother you.
Same.
Yeah, I'd be like, you ain't bothering me. If I didn't want to speak to you, I wouldn't answer the phone. Like, do you know what I mean? Yeah, my phone's on Do Not Disturb. He was one of the few people that can override that. Do you know what I mean? My phone's on that all the time. But mate, the first time I met him, I said this last year, yeah, the first time I met him was outside the Little Wonder Cafe. Yeah, and he bought me a coffee. Yeah, and I was just like, wow, he didn't even know me. Like, he knew of me because I had a channel before the one I've got now. Like, but I'd never met him before. And he was like, oh yeah, come on, we're going in here. Do you want me to get you a coffee? I said, no, I'll get you a coffee. He said, no, I insist. He bought me a coffee. It's like, it's only £1 away, but it's not the point. It's the nice person that he was. He was like, no, I'll get you a coffee, mate. Yeah, like, that's why when I did the podcast, which has changed now because obviously I've moved to Spain. Yeah, and the way I wanted to do that podcast was actually meet up with the people on the podcast. Yeah, and he was the first person I wanted on it, which is why I done it. And we sat outside the Emirates. Yeah, because he did get disrespected by a lot of other YouTubers and podcasters. Oh, he's useless with social media. He's useless with technology. I remember once. This is hilarious. Do you remember when he was upside down and he uploaded the video?
Oh, yeah.
I just put a comment and I said, yeah, you've turned into Batman. Literally upside down. Yeah, but I wanted him to be the first person on it because a lot of people did disrespect him. Yeah, and then they didn't think he was quite posh enough or well-spoken enough or good enough with technology. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter what you talk like, what you sound like, what you're wearing. It's what comes out your mouth.
That made him, man. That's what made it great with him. Was like
exactly.
He didn't need to have all that. Do you know what I mean? It was hilariously funny, and he always used to. What I used to love about him was he used to say to me, same thing, Dan. Would you mind if you come on my show? And I used to think, you're kidding me, mate. Like, would I mind coming on? It should be the other way around, shouldn't it? Like, do you know what I mean? He just appreciated everybody, like no matter, and he didn't care whether you had one follower, 1 million followers, whether you were a true gooner of 10 minutes or a gooner of 100 years. He would have you and respect you and have you on. And that's what I loved about him the most, because when I first met him, I wasn't doing all YouTube and stuff like that. I never did it, but he had respect for me and I had respect for him. And I just loved every minute of spending time with him. He was absolutely hilarious. And I was sitting there a couple of years ago when COVID had just hit and we were watching those games. Christ, it seems crazy now, doesn't it? But we're watching the Arsenal games with no fans in the stadium. And we were playing Burnley. You'll remember the game. And Granit Xhaka kicked the ball against, was it Chris Wood? And it went in. Do you remember that a couple of years ago?
Yeah.
So I was like at home going mental, like, I don't know if you can hear this, but this is what Claude had sent me, right? Absolutely hilariously funny. Hang on 1 second. I'll put the volume up.
All I had was that Granit Xhaka, mate.
That was enough, wasn't it? That was enough. I was just sitting there. I get like this 8-second clip from Claude, and I'm like, "Oh, is he all right?" And I'll play it, and it says this.
Oh, mate, Granit Xhaka, mate. Granit Xhaka. Fuck off now.
I start cracking up. I was like, he just knows.
We
used to have that banner.
Do you remember that guy on Twitter? I don't know what. Obviously, he may have special needs, but it was a lovely thing he'd done. But he had, young guy, must be 18. He was a great Xhaka song, so me and him used to have a laugh about it because he used to go, Granit Xhaka, Xhaka boo. And then he used to go on about we love you, and he used to make the sign like a heart. So me and Claude used to always watch it and take the mickey out of it. So I think that's where we got the Granit Xhaka song from.
Well, I just started. I was so angry because you boys know I can't stand Granit Xhaka, right? And I know you two ain't exact fans of me, but when
Really?
exactly.
Really? You do know that Granit Xhaka is our midfield, and where's Mr. Simiu? Because apparently he's one of those, there's Mr. Simiu, Mr. Ratcliffe, quite a few other people in the Arsenal fan base, Mr. Like I said, Mr. Khan as well, who basically say Granit Xhaka is our midfield. Look at the distances he covers and everything. So I'll be very interested. Also from Beyond the Grove, be interested to understand
he would be backing me up every time I bring him up, mate. Claude would be the one to back me up. Dan's not talking rubbish. Dan don't like Xhaka, and neither do I. He used to always say that all the time, and I've never liked him for 6 years, and he's still bloody playing for my midfield.
What you say about Giroud? I mean,
the lamppost. He
drew the lamppost. He's, stuff about Arsene Wenger, the milk's gone stale.
Some of the one-liners that guy's come out with over the years are legendary, man. Honestly, legendary.
He is class, absolute class. But he used to get really excited in some game. Well, he used to get very excited when we were winning. Obviously, he was a true gooner. And I remember being really, really happy when we won the FA Cup in 2020 because it was like everything was crap, wasn't it? We were all stuck in lockdown. It was poor. None of us could go to the FA Cup final we all wanted to go to. And I knew that he'd added a few drinks and all that, and he'd been enjoying it himself. And I think he was with quite a few of the lads. And I was sitting in with my family, really happy with it. We're all kind of locked down. And he just sent me this once we'd won it.
Yeah, it's true. Potsy, we've done it, Potsy. We've done it, Potsy, we've done it.
Obviously very drunk at the time, but he'd sent me that, and it was just that was him. 1 minute he's sending me swear words about this team, the next minute he's absolutely delighted, and that was him. That was him all over. He felt the emotions, and he went with the emotions, just like all Arsenal fans. But Lee, I know that you and him were really close, and you got to meet and lots of times and stuff, and I feel like people, when they sadly pass, a lot of the time people say, "Oh, what a nice man, what a nice woman." I don't feel like I feel sometimes it's just what people say, and unfortunately, when it's people that deserve more than just "he's a nice man," sometimes we have to kind of appreciate that it doesn't always work that way with some people. Because Claude wasn't just a nice man, was he? He was a lot more than that, and I sometimes feel like when people say, "Would you like to say a few words on the tragic news that we've just heard?" I heard it a lot. He was a really nice guy. He was a really nice guy. But there was so much. It's kind of somewhat an understatement, Lee, isn't it, with Claude? Do you know what I mean?
100%, mate. That guy was one of the funniest blokes you'll ever meet in your life.
Yeah.
Like literally, he could just walk into a room and the whole room stops. Like, because everyone's like, "Wow, this is Claude." Yeah, there's not many people that have that aura about them that just like stop a whole room. Yeah, and everyone wants to be fixated on that person. Yeah, he was hilarious, man. Like, he could go from 0 to 100 real quick. We've all seen that in voice messages or text messages. We've seen that on some of the videos that he's put out there. Yeah, we won't go into some of them, but yeah, but yeah, he did have a short temper. The Italian came out in him at times.
Yeah.
But no, he was like genuinely the most genuine, kind-hearted person, yeah, that I've met in my life, mate. Like, honestly, yeah. And the fact that so many football fans, doesn't matter what team it is, yeah, came together on that day that he passed away a year ago. Like, the fact that the outpour from everyone, like, was mad. Like, I don't think there's anyone in the footballing social media side that could have got bigger than that. Yeah, and that kind of sums up him. Yeah, like, yes, he said a lot of things that people didn't agree with. Yes, he went on a channel that people don't like. Yes, he used to go in on players at times. Yes, he had a big following, and a lot of people were jealous of that. But at the end of the day, it all came from his heart, mate. Like, everything he said on camera, he'd say off camera. There's not many people like that, And like I said, he's the most genuine, kind-hearted person I've ever met, mate. And the way he treated me and the way I treated him was genuine friendship. The same with you guys as well. Like, he didn't want nothing from any of us, and we didn't want nothing from him. Just a friendship. That's it. It was just genuine for all of us. Same with Judges and him as well. Like, and Jack and a few others as well. Do you know what I mean? So, but all the people that sent messages out that day, since then, whenever I've done lives, I still get messages in my live chats, yeah, about him and about Chig. And today as well in the chat. Obviously, I've seen a few idiots in the chat, but that's life, mate. There's idiots everywhere. Yeah, the fact is, there's always going to be idiots, and 99.99% of people on being respectful to stuff like this. Yeah, the 0.1%, well, you're in the gutter anyway. Yeah, you're irrelevant. Do you know what I mean? And the one thing I'll say as well, Kenny said this earlier. Whenever you met him at the games, that guy had the biggest crowd around him. Like, literally, it was everyone. Like, it just stand there forever talking to him. Do you remember when we were outside Wembley, Kenny, when we beat Chelsea? Yeah. Chelsea, we couldn't find him. Yeah, we were like, "Where is he?" Like, he was in a sea of people. His people, yeah, the people around him that day was bigger than the crowd around AFTV, and we just won the cup final, and they all wanted to go and speak to Claude. Yeah, it was like, come on, man, that says how big he is, man. Yeah, I miss him every single day of the week, mate. Like, literally. And like you said, Dan, sometimes you just want to get the phone and you can't. Do you know what I mean? It's the same with Chig, and I've got that personally coming up as well in a few months as well, man. Yep. And it's like, to have two of my best mates just go inside a couple of months. It's tough, man. It is proper tough, especially when like they're not just mates online. Do you know what I mean? They're mates offline. I've met these people that are genuine friends. Like, it's sad, man. It's proper sad. And that makes
you're right.
People need to appreciate life a bit more instead of just being clowns. Yeah, and like,
we can't stop. We can't stop that, mate. There's too many clowns about, unfortunately, bro. And
you know what it is with the whole situation is that I think with social media and the things we do, we're not equipped. We don't have media training. And we're basically like learning as we go along with all of this. But one thing about that is that Claude transcended all of this. I think one of Claude's biggest mistakes is that he wasn't like some of these sharks who are successful in terms of like the YouTube personnel or social media personnel. Because he would have smashed it. He'd probably be earning thousands of pounds per month. And you know, probably got a nice little flat in around Southgate and everything, like a lot of these YouTubers, because he had a bigger following than them. Let me tell you something now. Every YouTuber with a massive account of every club, along the way, if you look at their early videos, Claudio Calagalo would have been on them. That's how big he was, you know, in terms of like, you know, YouTube and the people he's helped. And let's remember what AFTV was about and should be about. It's not about big personalities and who've made it. It's about fans like Caligali. Claude was AFTV, and the reason why he got all that traction from all over the world, from, you know, places as far-reaching as the African nations and places in Asia, you know, places in Australasia and everything, is because of he represented everything that a fan should be. You know, all these like little trappings, you know, like obviously you're not a pork chop. You're not going to give all these traction and have all these social media following, and you know, Mr. Lowe offers you a few quid, you know, for your services. You're not going to say no. But what was more important to Claude, and what a lot of people seem to forget, was Arsenal came first. Going and watch his boys came first. You know, the fact that, you know, if that was to ever be taken away from him, I think that is something that, you know, was really, really important for him. But it was his love for the football club. Yeah, you won't agree with what his emotions and how vent up he got about the game. And maybe you might, you know, people on the channel, maybe Ty didn't like the way you know, Claude might have spoke to him in their little exchanges. But one thing no one can ever deny is that when you talk about true Gooners, right, we all have a claim to that. Because in our hearts, we think we're the best Gooners. And who am I to disagree with you? You're damn right you should, because you've got your own supporters' experience. But when you talk about a fan, and when you go into what, you know, Flu has caused this industry, I just think you guys are just bloody, and I don't know what to call YouTube an industry or not, but if Flu says it's an industry, but let me tell you something now, without people like Claude, these sort of things don't happen. AFTV wouldn't have taken off without Claude. Despite, yes, it got a lot of traction in the 1916 and 17 season, but if Claude wasn't around, it wouldn't have happened. There were times when he carried that channel on his back. You know what I mean? So I think there's a lot of people have to be thankful to the contribution Claude has made to what Flu has caused this industry. The biggest problem Lee identified is that sometimes he did feel disappointed, feel let down, and felt, you know, how do I say it, left on his own by the industry, because obviously it moved on and went without him. But one of the things that hurts me deeply and hurt me at the time is the fact that I just wish, you know, that situation. And I don't want to, you know, regarding, I'm not going to mention it, but we know what we're talking about.
No, of course.
And I wish that some members of the Arsenal fan base can take a good look at themselves and think, why don't you give the man the benefit of the doubt? You knew him. He wasn't no stranger. You saw him at matches. You saw how passionate he was. He's one on your own. And that still cuts me deep, that you didn't back him, and that his back, it was people like us who got him through that, and fans from other clubs, Chelsea, even Spurs fans who, you know, who could see the rubbish for what it is, and people from far-reaching people. And I think the problem we have with social media in general, in life in general, is that before you put your shoes, socks, and your pants on, the lie or the story travels a great distance, and sometimes you're just not allowed to have a second bite of cherry or be able to explain yourself. And I think that was really
And I think everybody as well, Ken, everybody likes a little bit of drama, don't they? I mean, I woke up yesterday and everyone's talking about Will Smith and Chris Rock like I really care. I mean, who gives a damn? I've got better things. I've got better things to worry about. You know?
We have a cancel culture where, you know, we have a situation right now.
Claude knew about the cancel culture, mate. They were trying it every week.
You know, you got an exposure.
They never succeeded, by the way.
Yeah, but the thing is that what's happening is that because of social media, everyone positions themselves in an area of safety. Everyone wants to be with the winning team, the good guys, where you don't want to fall out in anyone, and you don't want to be that guy who is brave enough to have an opinion of his own and brave enough to express it, which Claude was.
Yeah.
And I think that's the thing. Sometimes you stand out for all the wrong reasons when you should really stand out. You should be celebrated having a different opinion than everyone else. Being yourself. I thought that was what life and YouTube was all about.
Individuality, mate. If everyone's the same, life would be boring, wouldn't it?
Yeah, but
100%
unfortunately, it
agree.
seems that everyone's got a safe position because at the end of the day, that's the way we've now been projected towards. No one wants to fall out.
What you just said there, Kenny, is social media in a nutshell, right? Because at the end of the day, bad news travels faster than good news. Yeah, that's social media, that's everything. Yeah?
Like I said,
people love a drama, like Dan said. Yeah, they do love a drama. People love to cause a drama and stir a drama, right? And the one thing I'll say, there's not many people in life that just don't give a toss. Yeah, right. He was one of them. I'm one of them. You guys you don't care. I genuinely don't care. Yeah, I get people give it the big one to me every day. So did he. So do you. Like Kenny, you told me about the guy on Twitter the other day. Yeah, like and like it's just ridiculous. Like people just love to like kick off on people that have got a strong personality. When I say strong personality, I mean they say what they think. Like they say what they mean and they mean what they say. Yeah, and at the end of the day, all of them people, including me, well, if you prove me wrong, I'll hold my hands up and say, cool. Yeah. And Claude was exactly the same as that. He'll go out, he'll shoot from the hip and he'll say what he thinks is right. If it turns out that it ends up being wrong, then he'll say, okay, I got that one wrong. Yeah, I'm gonna have to apologize for that one. And that's what he did. Yeah, but people don't like that because you have to be part of the Arsenal family or social media family. You all have to get along. At the end of the day, I don't know 99.99% of the people that follow me. Yeah, the ones that are respectful to me will get respectful back. Yeah, and the ones that ain't can jog on. Yeah, and that's how Claude was. Yeah, you be respectful to him, he'll be respectful back to you. You want to sit on the internet and try and troll him and mug him off, then you're getting it back. It's as simple as that. And there's nothing wrong with that, unfortunately. But
and you know what, Lee? I could relate. I could relate to Claude. One of the reasons I got into this was because of people like him, because he came on to a stream, said it how it was, and I could relate to it. And sometimes I didn't agree with everything he said, but there's times I don't agree with everything that you say or Kenny says. But I respected where it came from, and I respected the passion, I respected the love, and also I respected that he weren't being fake. He weren't trying to get hundreds and thousands of views. People were viewing him because they were getting 100% real talk, and that's why I love listening to people like him, and that was why I got into this sort of thing. And I remember meeting him for the very first time, and I just sort of said to him, look, I always watch you. And he genuinely loved that. He genuinely loved it. Loved the fact that I told him that I watched him. It weren't like, oh, I get this all the time. Cheers, mate. And then just jog on. He actually genuinely liked it. And we just built, sometimes you just clicked straight away.
He needed love. He needed love just much very much. One thing about Claude, and one of the things is, yes, he was very funny. Yes, he was a giving person, but he needed appreciation. He needed his belly tickled. You know what I mean? And that's the thing with someone with a massive profile. You think that, well, he wouldn't need all of that, but he did need reassurance. He did need, the people coming up with him and saying, we love what you're doing, man. Jack told me that when they did the Gary Neville thing, with AFTV, he was on there with DT Troops, Mr. Loyal, and he was also on there with Muhammad. And I think it was on there with Ty. Yet Jack Stevenson told me that Gary Neville and the people around Sky Sports more drawn to Claude, and they said that they respected what he said more than anyone else. And I think that meant a lot to Claude. That he was included in it in the first place, although he shouldn't have been grateful for that because he, as far as I'm concerned, he's the biggest thing on the AFTV. But the fact that Gary Neville and people work with Sky said that about Claude, and I respect that because he came across not as someone who maybe was more offended by the fact that they were insulted and about what Gary Neville said, but he came across as someone who went, well, hang on here, I want your views about football. This is the way the club is. I'm not happy with this, and I want the club to be better. And that's how why he probably got, why, Jack, Stevenson told me that someone from Sky said that Gary Neville and the people behind the scenes respect the school for that.
100%, and that just sums it up really for me, that people were drawn to him, even those that we watch every single week, or some of us do watch every single week on Sky, on Super Sunday, all were attracted to him because of what a lovable guy he was. And I think that's a great way to come to an end and wrap it up. Lee, Kenny, want to thank you so much. Want to thank everybody else in the chat for watching, everyone for supporting the channel, and for coming to listen to who was a great friend and a true legend.
We've got to do it. There's three of us. We've got to do 2 hours a day. We all got booming voices. There's no way we're coming on that channel without ending it, without doing it's time to go.
It's time to go.
It's time to
go. I absolutely loved that every single time. You just knew it was going to be coming. But he was a legend. He is a hero. He will always be missed, but he will never be forgotten. Thank you all for listening. Much appreciated. Yeah, we will try to, if you can, obviously Lily came on earlier, if you can go and support Claude Trust, please do. Please
you
do.
type in Claude Trust on a Google search, the first thing that will come up on the page is donate. It takes you straight to the GoFundMe.
There we go. Claude Trust, get yourself over there, donate if you can, and there is some amazing stuff that Lily and the guys are doing over there. Until next time, guys, as Claude would say, it's time to go. Take care.